Therapist tags are a feature in Therapy Appointment that allows your administrative staff to quickly identify the providers that are a best fit for a new client based on discriminators that your practice sets up. You can then use these discriminators to identify all the providers which offer the services a client needs, and then search among their availability to see whose schedule matches the dates and times the client's requesting. You can then go ahead and get the client scheduled for one or more appointments with that provider. First, let's set up the tags in the practice that you would like to use. You'll have to be a manager or owner role, and in this case, you'll go to Settings, and then select Staff from the top tabs. You'll notice that I have already tagged these providers in my practice with discriminators. There's a couple here that don't have any assigned to them yet. But I want to start with a clean slate, so let's do that. To set up the tags that your practice would like to use, click any of the plus buttons to the right of any provider's name. And you'll notice this pop-up that's informing me that I don't have any tags defined yet. I can create a new tag by typing in the name of the tag or the discriminator that I wish to use. An easy one that many clients have a preference for is their therapist gender. So let's enter male, and I'll hit Save New Tag, and let's do another one, female, save the tag, and if you have any other preferences for your practice, go ahead and add those. Let's assume another discriminator might be that not all of your providers are paneled with the same insurance companies. If this is the case, I only want to include insurance companies that my providers are not universally paneled with. For example, if all of my therapists are paneled with Aetna, I don't want to include that one. But let's say this particular practice that not all of my providers participate with Medicare, TRICARE, and Medicaid. So I want to set up tags for those particular ones. Okay. And let's add some specialties here. I'm going to put in the basic children, couples, family, teens. You get the idea. Anything that your therapist might specialize in. Now, Therapy Appointment is going to list all these tags alphabetically. And when your intake staff is using this tool, this is how they'll see them alphabetically. Now, I want to make this a little more usable for my intake staff, so I want to group these together to make more sense. So, for example, let's click on what I put in for the therapist gender, and I'm going to put a 1 in front of it, and I could leave it at that, and it's going to group it then with a 1 in front of it to alphabetize it numerically. So hit Save Tag, and let's do that for the other gender I have in here, and save that tag. So now you see that that grouped it together. I could also use other descriptors as a group, just using that same descriptor. So let's go to children here, and I want to put in the word specialty, children, and save that tag. And let's do that for couples as well. All right, so now you'll see that that's grouping that up alphabetically by that specialty. So using either numbers or discriminators to identify the groups in front of your description is going to help your intake department manage these tags. Next, let's add the tags to the appropriate providers. So when I have a provider that does not yet have a tag in place, click the plus button, and now you have a pop-up that says therapy tags for this therapist. Just click into it and you're going to see all the tags, and click into the ones that you want to apply. and then hit save. Okay, so now the tags are assigned. If I would like to come in and edit those, just click back in, and maybe I want to take off TRICARE here, and then I'll hit save. If I'd like to go in and edit my main menu of tags, just go in here and click Manage All Tags in the top corner, and that way I can add additional tags, edit, or even remove a tag and start over. So you'll see it's a very easy to use edit feature. Now let's see this feature in action. So your intake staff are going to be on the calendar screen, and they're going to go to the top and say Find Availability, and then put the client's name in the field. Here's the name of my client. Okay. And then they're going to click on Therapist Tags. And here are my tags that I've set up for this practice. So I'm going to say they've requested a female therapist who takes Medicaid and treats children. Okay. So now that I have selected those, click into the therapist box, and now therapy appointment is telling me that the two of the providers in my practice meet this requirement. Happens to be Sonia and Justa, and I want to choose from both of them. Now this is popping up some schedules over on the right. I want to keep going down on the right here. So I want to look at an appointment time that is available not just this week, but for the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks. At least in my practice, we like to make sure this appointment's available in the future for a client. And so I'm going to say weekly visits at least the next 3 weeks in this example. And this client has requested a mid-morning appointment before noon. So let's select that as the time of day. And this practice has more than one location, so we're going to choose, they wanted the Dallas location in this example. So now let's scroll up to the top and look at my calendar. So my calendar is showing me that any day that has a green dot on it means there is availability before noon, an appointment that has more than at least next 3 weeks available to it. And if the client said, I really want Fridays, then we're going to select Friday the 6th in this example. And this now tells me that if it's Friday the 6th, only Sonia has that availability. Okay, let's just go to Wednesday the 11th. Now I could choose from both of these providers equally. What these icons are telling me is Justa has an availability either in person or via telehealth that day. Okay, so the client prefers a Friday. They like the 10 a.m. slot, so I'm going to select it. And now therapy appointment allows me to set up some additional information. So it's going to schedule with Sonia on that start date of 9/6 at 10 o'clock a.m., a 1-hour session. And because I asked therapy appointment to find me an appointment with at least 3 weeks availability, it's automatically saying, yep, let's put this on for every week for the next 3 weeks. And if I want to do that, that's great. If I would like to change that, instead just do the 1 week, or if I can flip this to no, I can flip it to yes and increase the number of weeks it's going to go on. And then at the bottom here, if these are going to be telehealth sessions and you're connected with Therapy Appointments Telehealth, you can automatically set it up as a telehealth session. And then you can code these sessions for the CPT code that's going to be used, in this case, a 90837. Now I want to go ahead and put this on only for the next 3 occurrences. And then just go ahead and click Save. And that client is now going to be on that therapist schedule for the next 3 weeks and assigned to that therapist as a new client. So here we're doing that. And now when I go to my therapist schedules, right, we're going to be able to see my therapist all side by side. And then we'll be able to see my schedule, and there's the appointment scheduled as telehealth, and it has the new icon indicating to the therapist it's a new client. Okay. Thanks for watching. If you need any help setting up your tags, please reach out to support@therapyappointment.com.